Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Raul,
And it's Mike.
and we'd like to welcome you back to episode 39 of the AO podcast.
Hey yo.
Now, before we get into anything, make sure you follow us on all our socials and
Like,
subscribe right here on YouTube if you're
comment,
watching.
subscribe.
And then also follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcast.
Listen
And,
to us there.
and all the links for all of our socials are down in the description. Um,
Down over yonder.
so now with that out of the way, I think I'm going to talk about this first just because I want to get it out of the way.
Yeah, talk about it first.
But right before we actually started recording this podcast, I was scrolling through Twitter, which already in itself is not gonna. There's a high chance that either you're gonna get something that really fucking irritates you or makes you fucking laugh.
Like
It's kind of a toss up.
And it's like it's always mostly racist on both terms. But you were scrolling to Twitter, which is a place I haven't been to in a week.
Yeah.
I deleted the app, so I haven't been on there for good reason. For a good reason.
So I am pretty sure it was TMZ that posted the clip. Now I don't know. I'm assuming this was supposed to be some type of negotiation or meeting between President Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and the President of the Ukraine. Now, I apologize because I don't remember that guy's name, and even if I did, I'd probably butcher the pronunciation. So I'm just gonna refer to him as the President of the Ukraine. But basically, I don't really know what the
Just
context is because they only showed maybe like a 3 to 4 minute clip of the conversation, but it's them having a discussion in the Oval Office, and there's media there, so this is a meeting that was supposed to be made public. And towards the end of that video, because I saw the video that TMZ had posted, which was supposedly the full clip, which only really added the president of Ukraine basically talking about, I'm assuming, the war in the beginning of the clip. But the clip that I saw that was on Twitter was when it cuts towards the end of the clip, and you basically see JD Vance and Trump talk over him the whole time because I think they got offended at the fact that he alluded to he said something along the lines of, you say the Ukraine has problems, but during war everyone has problems, even you guys. And so that's when you really heard Trump start to speak
Which
over
is
him.
True.
And that's when I'm pretty sure that shit got to him a little bit, because that's when you notice Trump really started to speak up and he would not let him speak. And essentially the whole what I got from the clip is you just see Trump and Vance literally trying to force this dude into being grateful for getting our help, and it's Trump just being you do know you would have been fucked if if it wasn't for us. That's essentially what he was saying. Now the reason why this kind of bothered me, because I think if you've listened to the podcast enough, you've probably gathered that out of the two of us, Mike's the more political one. I usually don't speak on stuff like this, but the reason why it bothered me is because I take it back to the way that I look at politics and politicians especially is I take it back to the Dave Chappelle approach from, I believe it was his Killing Them Softly stand-up special from back in the day, where he was speaking about, I think...
Classic stand-up special, by the way.
Yeah, I think at the time it was President Bill Clinton. And there's a segment in that special where he talks about how he's discussing on who he would vote for in that particular election, and he's like, I don't look at the person's politics, I look at their character. And I honestly think that I'm genuinely the same way, because the reason why this bothers me so much is a lot of the reason why people hyped Trump up in the first place when he ran for president the first time was a lot of people were saying, he's not your traditional politician. And that's why a lot of people liked him initially. But honestly, I see that way more as a negative than I do a positive.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, with politicians, since they've been in this field for years, they have learned how to conduct themselves when they're in the presence of the media. And the thing that I would want to compare it to is when Obama was president, the way that he, because people to this day still consider him to be one of our coolest presidents.
Yeah, one of the better presidents.
Yeah, and the reason for that is because he knew how to conduct himself and he knew how to speak. And the you can see the difference in the personalities because even though like let's not pretend like Obama was also out here doing like some really fucked up shit.
He was destroying.
But the thing though
shit.
with him, if unless you were actually sort of into politics, if you were just like an average person, chances are you wouldn't know that shit by looking at the way that he spoke and the way that he presented himself. Like if you saw an Obama speech, you wouldn't think to yourself, "Oh, this is the guy that's fucking shit."
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't think that. But when you have a president like Trump and you see the way that he conducts himself with another president,
he's
the president that he's speaking to. This is not just like a media personality. This is another president.
He's an ally from another country that he's criticizing as well.
And the way that because here's the thing, you can have the mindset that America's the best all you want, but the thing that bothers me is at least know because if you're gonna do that, like if he went into this meeting knowing that this is how he was gonna talk to the president of the Ukraine, then keep this shit behind closed doors. Like, why are you fucking putting this out in the like? Because even though, yeah, like I told Mike this earlier, like America, we are some goddamn bullies. Like, yeah, there's no denying that.
And it's not like a Kendrick type of bully where it's like, oh, they're fucking destroying this one person, and it's just like they're fucking just like it's like world domination type shit. Like they truly did set their goals of like just Western expansion to its finest because like everywhere has a U.S. military base and all that shit.
And so the thing that bothered me is that
the Ukraine Russia shit, like we're not professionals. We're not gonna go into that. But I'm not gonna say it's complicated because I have feelings about it. But for Trump, it's very complicated because Ukraine's more of an ally than Russia, but also Russia also has ties to. People blame this. I'm still gonna keep it at this stance. People blame Russia for like the 2016 election for like people voting and there's just been some people who brought up like that was actually true, but like what we know is the truth or not is always twisted depending on who's telling it. And U.S. is notorious for like telling lies every time they fucking
so this is the way that I want to put it. Like, putting your fucking, whatever your political views are aside, and I know that, like, in today's climate, that's way harder to do for a lot of people, and I understand that. But for me as a person, if I'm putting the politics aside, and I'm just looking at Trump's character, I gotta be honest, man, I don't fucking like this guy. Like, again, like, politics aside, like, feel however you feel, like, if you're right wing, you're fucking left wing, if you're liberal, if you're fucking conservative, if you're a fucking communist, I don't care. As a person, I do not fucking like him because I feel like he makes us as Americans look really fucking bad. Whether you want to believe it or not, it's like because
he does.
Here's the thing:
he really does.
You shouldn't be talking down to another president this way. Like you really shouldn't. Like even because I'm pretty sure, like I'm pretty positive Trump. Like I know Trump probably thinks he's better than him, like in every way.
Yeah.
But it's like you cannot act that way publicly. As a president, you cannot.
Because it not only that, it just makes you look just so, like, just dominating in the worst way possible. And also, like, the Ukraine situation is insane. I'm not going to go into it. But if, like, Russia is going to do what they're planning to do, they could be in some real deep shit. And Ukraine will remember that. He's like, in the future, especially when Trump is in the office that he is right now, and to use that against them and heavily, just like anything politics or wars, because there's multiple things that the U.S. is involved in right now that's really, really bad. That's really, really bad. I'm not even going to go into, the Israel-Palestine shit, but like, it's like we're, I was talking to Raul earlier. It's like, America has been involved in some of the worst decisions in humanity in the past 500 years. Even before the United States was the United States, the foundation of the states was both by the almost near extinction of a whole ass race, and like using all the other races, including what white people deemed as lower white people, as and genociding and destroying them in the worst inhumane way possible. And Trump is like right now the embodiment of that. Like it's like pure fear mongering, pure impulse decision. He's still running this like a reality TV show, like amping up the drama just because like he can and stuff. From that one time, like, he dodged whatever he dodged and was like put the fist up. Like it's just like he knows his audience, but at the same time, the red states that the most of the his voters live in, they're suffering because of major decisions he's having right now. They're with like economical decisions that are just like not for his actual fans. It's just for him and for like his like prideful purpose. Not to mention the Elon shit. Like it just looks like people could try to like grasp straws of like what Trump's doing right now. That's like kind of cool and stuff, but like also that's the same way I feel looking back at like Obama being like, oh look, Obama says To Pimp a Butterfly and Hamilton are like masterpieces while he's like fucking dropping bombs just on innocent people, and people, and it's just like I can't. No, fuck that. It was like there's other things that he's doing that is worrisome, especially to people around me. So yeah. So I totally get why, politics aside too, it's just like so degrading. Yeah. It's so degrading.
I don't know. It's just as a person, I did not like the way that I just don't I did not enjoy Trump's tone throughout that entire video. I just really didn't. And so like I said, nothing political about, at least from my perspective. It's just I do not care for him as a person.
No, fuck him. Like actually, fuck him. So he is funny though. I'm not gonna front, but like fuck not this time. He was fuck him. I do still want to know what he said to Barack at that funeral. What made him laugh. Like imagine like we're at a homie's funeral and like a little lean over and make you laugh and shit. And the cameras are there.
But the difference is I probably know what you would say. But no, just moving on. I didn't want to spend too much time on that. But
what a way to start the podcast, by the way. I don't know if that was like the right decision, but that was a way to start the podcast. Oh
yeah, you're gonna have a lot of people clicking off.
It'll be like, the Ukraine should be like grateful that like, and it's just like the MAGA hatters, the white Mexicans that don't speak Spanish that hate their people, it's just like that. Fuck you.
As soon as you said the Mexicans that don't speak Spanish,
I speak at least a little bit like Spanish. It's just like, and what's fucked up about that too? My entire family speaks fucking Spanish really good, and they spoke it around me since I was a child. You think I would get at least a lot of that? No, I only got some of it, and it's not enough to put on my fucking resume.
I had to learn that shit because I was the only way I could talk to my parents.
I know. My grandma only speaks mostly Spanish, and a lot of my grandparents and relatives only speak Spanish, and like both of my parents like speak fluent Spanish because that was their first language, and they weren't like parents who were like in fear, being like, we're teaching you English only because like if you speak Spanish you will get bullied and like fuck whatever.
I mean, you don't have to worry about that.
We don't have to worry about that anymore. But like, there's people around.
And you were in East LA.
Yeah, and I was in East LA. But like, the people I know that like whose immigrant parents refused to teach their kids Spanish because they were in fear of like, oh shit, like what the fuck is. And speaking of what the fuck, can you can still hear me through the thing, right?
Yeah, I can.
But you could. My right ear can't like hear it. Can you hear me perfectly?
No,
though?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, all right. It's just probably my headphones then. Sorry about that, technical difficulties. I just want to make sure that everything is good, okay? Because everything is not good right now because life and shit. But
but you know what? Speaking of some shit that was cool, I actually wanted to talk about this on the episode, I believe, when we talked about the Grammys, but I just literally completely forgot. Yes. But a while back, I hung out with the homie Eric. So shout out to the homie Eric. I believe he's actually like on vacation right now somewhere. But
he's always on vacation.
Yeah, he is. But let me start this up before I start that. But anyways, so we went out to eat and it was pretty chill. Like we smoked. we went out to eat at this place called Banana Bay, I believe. It was really bomb. I tried fucking mango rice for the first time, which was really good. But then
mango
after
rice?
That, yeah, it's basically like this kind of. I think it's like rice that has some. I feel like it's like sweet condensed milk on it, and then they serve it to you with like really jelly like mango slices. Yeah.
That's interesting.
But so after we left there, we smoked for a bit, and then the plan was after that, Eric was just gonna drop me off at my house. But as we were driving back to my house, Eric just randomly decides to ask me like, "Hey, have you ever been to a rave before?" Now, if you know anything about me, you knew that answer is gonna be no, because raves are just not my thing.
They're loud, they're crowded, they're claustrophobic.
And so
you almost died at a Griselda concert because you were just in the middle of a
dude. When I was fucking younger, I literally almost got stomped out in a mosh pit.
Nice.
So then, he's telling me, yeah, like those the big raves or whatever. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend those for your first time because they're like really chaotic. But he was telling me, then he's like, hey, but I know of this small little place that like plays house music in LA. And if we get there, because at the time that we were driving, it was already like midnight. And so he's like, hey, like if we get there before 1 a.m., we can get in for free. And so I don't know why, because if it was any other night, I just would have said, nah, you know what, I'm cool. Like, because he told me like, because he told me like, do you want to go to check it out to see if you like it?
Yeah. And I love Eric because like he be texting you or like suggesting shit that's like so wild that you wouldn't expect. Because like he's just like a more like he's not like you know, you look at him, you just don't expect that. But like I remember the time that he just texted you randomly at 10 p.m. and be like, hey, want to go to a strip club?
No, you know what he said? His exact words were, hey, do you want to go to a titty bar? And that was like a few years ago.
I know.
And that was like super spontaneous because that was like just literally a random fucking weekday after he got out of work. But anyways, so he was telling me like, yeah, like there's this place we can go. So do you want to go and check it out like just for like just for like 10 or 20 minutes? And any other night I would have been like, nah, you know what, I'm good. But for some reason I was like, you know what, fuck it, let's go. Let's check it out. So we head over there. We finally get there, and hold on, let me just take a hit because this thing's on a timer, so.
Yeah, and like, you know, and Eric's not like, you know, he seems like a shy guy at first, but like, you know, he's really down for anything. And he goes a lot everywhere. He's a good photographer, you know, he's like he's helped me a lot. And he has like, and I've been in classes with him, film classes with him too, so it's crazy. But he's also helped me with a lot of like film stuff too back in the day, making my shorts and stuff. He helped me with like lights and stuff, especially. You know, so he knows a lot about like that tech shit. You know,
so
he's really really talented dude.
We get there, we park Eric's Tesla on the side of the street. Then we walk over to it's like a small little club. They just like check you in and pat you down before you go in. Yeah. And it was like it looked like a dive bar is how I would describe it. It was like a really small bar, and like at the back of the bar was like there was some girl DJing, and she was playing house music. And we stayed for maybe like 20 to 30 minutes because the plan was afterwards his friend had invited him because his friend who lives in LA, like I guess she was having a kickback, and so she had invited him, and he was like, oh, like, do you want to go? And I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's go. So we were going to go to that, but as soon as we walked out of the club, the friend texted him that like, oh, she was going to actually call it. So we just ended up going home after that. But before we could even get to Eric's car, I heard like somebody yelling in the background, and I was like, what the fuck? And so it's some lady that's yelling. And at first she's like yelling all this crazy shit, and I'm like, I look at Eric and I'm genuinely asking him, I'm like, hey, like, what is that lady like yelling about? Because the whole time that we were walking, I never looked back, so I never got a good look at her.
Yeah.
And so I was like, what the fuck is she yelling about? And Eric told me like, oh, she just got kicked out of the club. And then So I genuinely believe Eric when he tells me this. But as we're still walking and we're getting closer to the car,
just blatantly
all of a sudden I just hear this lady yell out the N-word to me and my friend, and I can genuinely tell you that I never expected that word to be thrown my direction.
I know.
In my life. And
you're like
so,
the opposite of that word.
I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, and so that's when I looked back to Eric again. I'm like, who the fuck is she talking to? And she like, it's like, what they kick her out of the club for? And then fucking Eric looks at me like, I wasn't being serious. That's just some tweaker lady. And I was like, fucking Eric, dude.
The way I love how he just blatantly lied. Like, I thought, oh, that was so fucking funny. Like, and then, like, just the fact you got called that word is insane to me. You know, and it just is like, the fact people just use that word just like that, just randomly at random other people, you know, it's nuts. LA, y'all, you know, that's the LA lifestyle.
That's common down there.
You know, it's like, you know.
That was like,
it's a real problem.
I felt kind of fucking stupid because as we got to the car and like I'm actually listening to what she's saying, it's pretty clear this is a homeless lady.
Like, it's like pretty. Like, you didn't recognize the craziness in the voice yet?
No. That was like a really fun adventure that I went on with Eric.
You know.
But then speaking of more fun adventures, it was recently actually my 28th birthday.
It's homelessness is crazy. But let's go on. What my transitions are.
I'm not gonna lie. That would, like, if we were actually transitioning out of this topic, that would have been a fucking like wild ass transition.
The way.
But
anyways.
Yeah, anyway, so recently, it was actually my 28th birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you,
Food. Big 2-8.
But, so, the way that I actually spent it is, first off, because my birthday was on the 17th, and it landed on a Monday. Mm-hmm. And that day, neither of my sister didn't have to go to work. So, both of my sisters took me out for brunch. And I can't remember what the fucking name of the restaurant was that we went to, but all I knew is that it was like some Mexican restaurant where they served like giant ass fucking mimosas. And right here, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put a picture on the screen.
Put it on my face right here.
So you can see
between these fingers
how big the fucking mimosa was. Because like we sat in a booth, and if you were sitting across from me in the booth and they brought the mimosa, you wouldn't be able to see.
Cut it out now.
Like, you wouldn't be able to see my fucking face, like, from behind the glass. Yeah. That's how big it was. So I only drank it, like, I didn't even fucking manage to drink half of that shit, and I was, like, already buzzed.
And you could drink.
Yeah, well, not that much. I think, like, my max is, like, if I'm drinking, like, any canned drinks that are, like, between 5 or 4% alcohol.
Yeah. I found out my max. I'll say that. Last year.
I can do about, like, 4. Yeah, about, like, 4.
Nice.
Cans. So I was pretty lit, and then we finally went back home. And then, just recently, I got to hang out with the homies at my house. Well, you're fucking included, stupid.
I am homies, too. Imagine the audience is like, man, that's fucked up. You hang out with the homies, but not Mike? Which is, I wouldn't be surprised. You know, because, like, motherfucker, I'm lazy, too. Sometimes I want to stay home.
And then so we can fast forward to our fucking friend Rob trying to pressure me into getting a fucking tattoo.
Yeah, you know, he loves tattoos, man. He just wants you to have a special place in it. He was literally
going to a fucking tattoo appointment that night.
I know, like, he stopped by to hang out and then went to, like, get a tattoo. I was just like, that's crazy. But, like, but tattoos are cool, though. You know, his tattoos are crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, sometimes the way that our friends casually just drop shit on us is fucking hilarious to me because we're all chilling,
they're
right?
unpredictable, I think.
So we're all chilling, right?
I think we're all unpredictable in a way. We're always shocked by each other.
We were chilling. I think it was
in a good way.
It was because you got there first.
Yes.
And then it was Rob that got there, right?
Yeah. Then Luis came in with the drinks.
Yeah,
and
but
the
then way
pizza
before
and the
that, so when it was just me, you, and Rob. Mm-hmm. So Rob at first he had asked you for a lighter. And then you didn't have one.
I was like, I didn't have one.
So he asked me, so I got him one. And I'm assuming he, like, brought a joint with him or something. And this motherfucker just
He's just putting his business up. His cigarette, like, a wee croissant sticks.
I'm pretty sure he wouldn't fucking care if I said
that is true. You know, that is true.
So he just randomly drops the fact that he
just starts smoking cigarettes.
Like, That wasn't a known thing. Like,
that was a recent thing too. Like I was getting detail from one of our other friends, but he did have the common courtesy to be like, hey, is there you guys want to like me to smoke it somewhere else or like here? And then we were like, yeah, just smoke it over there. That hurt my ear. We were smoking in a different part of the yard because your yard is huge. Like even you didn't realize until like more in the recent years how fucking huge your fucking yard is.
Oh yeah, I realized like way too late that we could have been
like you could have like it's so like you smell like hamburgers and stuff.
Don't fucking dox people.
I'm just saying like where it's like I'm not gonna say what place, but I'm just like you can smell the burgers in one of the places. It's crazy. It's crazy. I
constantly smell the burgers. That shit's fucking bomb.
I know.
Every
you
time
wake
I go
up,
to
you're
my
like,
backyard, I get hungry.
and you're high all the time too. So you're like, fuck.
Not all the time.
You're like 25-8. You're high all the time, and then it's just like, but yeah. Luis came with the Zaza and the drinks. George came through too. That shit was lit.
Oh, by the way, we mean pizza, not the actual Zaza.
Yeah. Huh?
Oh wait, that's Zaza. Never mind.
Okay. All right. Let's move on. The Zaza. Yeah. And also I've heard like the fucking the weed, which actually there wasn't. We didn't have like weed either. We just had like pens, right, or something.
Well, I had this one.
Oh, you had that? That is true. I think we both had that.
Yeah, you did.
But we didn't have any like other kind of weed. We were drinking.
Because we only like killed one of these and then we started drinking.
Yeah, we got some light drinks, but like they were good drinks.
Oh yeah, do you have something I can empty this out on? Because I don't want it to get stuck in there. I'm gonna keep that in.
You gotta keep that in.
That wasn't that
just
long.
to torture.
Because that wasn't that long.
Oh my god, I feel like it's gonna. Let's see how you. You always keep this shit. I keep telling you to cut.
Well, because that's because you're acting stupid. That's why you want me to cut it.
Well, I just don't want people to like hear the noise of just us preparing.
Like I'll probably lower down the clickering, but I'm gonna leave it in.
You gonna leave it in? All right, fair. I remember one of the episodes. We were coughing a lot.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was telling my parents was like, "You didn't edit that." I was like, "I'm not the editor. I thought he would cut it, but he didn't."
That was fucking great.
It was like y'all could cough for like 10 minutes straight.
No, wait. So I want to get to shout out to the homie George because he did some great things and this kickback. The first of which, like I think this was after you because you left pretty early. Mm-hmm. So then it was only me, Luis, and George left.
Yeah.
After Rob left. And then, so it was basically just me and fucking Luis talking for the longest because unbeknownst to us, we hadn't noticed, but George had fucking fallen asleep.
Yeah, he fell asleep at the party. Well, it's crazy how people fall asleep at like your parties.
That's not, you know what's funny? That's not an uncommon thing for our kickbacks because like fucking Nick's done it before.
Yeah, last year Nick did it in the funniest way. Like it was so like subtle. Like he was just chilling, laying back, arm folded, and then like he had the hoodie on, so like he was just chilling, and then he just like kept going low, and then just like I took a video where it looked like it's just like a. Just like a black void within the hoodie. It's just like, it was like a horror movie and shit. And unlike the horror movie we're gonna talk about later, but like your party, it was a fun time. It was a fun time. It's definitely not like last year. Looking back at last year,
last year's was fucking epic. Listen, because here's the thing. I've drank with you before.
Yes.
But I've never actually seen you like wasted. And that was the first time I genuinely saw you fucking just shit faced.
Cause like usually I don't like drinking. But like at the time I was like, I haven't drank in a while and I felt
also
like,
hadn't you just like quit or something?
I just quit my job at the time. Well they let me go. I didn't quit. But like But like, yeah, I was like, you know what? And you were like,
so
we were
this is what
drinking.
happened. So I told you, I was like, hey, fuck it, like you're not working anymore, like just fucking cut loose, just say fuck it and drink.
And you were like,
and here's the thing though,
I warned you.
When I said it,
warned you.
When I said it, I did not think you were gonna fucking listen to me.
I warned you. I was like, Raul, you really want me to get fucked up? Because I can. I really can. Usually, like, everywhere I go, I restrict myself in,
and
like,
also,
in the highest possible
real quick,
way.
let's put this out there. Let's not forget that we were fucking drinking Buzzballs.
We were drinking Buzzballs, which I did not know the effects of until the next day.
But let's wait.
I wouldn't have drank that much if I knew the effects the next day.
Fucking, oh my god. Like, even though I'm pretty sure we've talked about this already.
This is like the 4th episode, but looking back on it, like a year later, it's fucking hilarious.
Like, you were fucking, some of my favorite parts were when you fucking, you fell, no, you broke my fucking chair.
I fell on your chair and
then, but here's the funny part. Here's the funny part. So from our perspective, right? We're like looking at you, being on the floor. It's been like at least 20 seconds after you fell, and you're still on the floor, and then you get up.
You guys just looked at me for that long.
And then you wait, well, because here's the best part. You get up afterwards, and you look at us, looking at you, and you're like, what the fuck are you guys looking at? Like, trying to act like you just stood up right away. And like, Mike, you were on the floor for a minute, dude.
No, it felt like nothing. Like, I was on the floor, and I immediately got back up. I didn't realize 20 seconds had passed. I got back up. I'm like, what are you guys...
You know what it reminded me of? There's a scene in a fucking King of the Hill where, like, Hank's, like, sick as fuck. Yeah. So he, like, passes out, like, in front of his truck. And you see fucking... Fast forwards to fucking Dale and Boomhauer, like, fucking standing on top, or, like, in front of him, looking down on him. Yeah. And then you just see fucking Bill come in, and you're like, oh my god, Hank. And he, like, picks him up. And he, like, carries him into his house, and he looks at Dale and Boomhauer, and he's like, you guys are just gonna leave him there? He's like, so selfish. And then as he's walking away, you just fucking hear Dale say, he's like, actually, we thought he was dead. That's literally how we were fucking like, is fucking Mike alright?
Like, I was just on the foot for 20 seconds. You guys were like, he's there. He's not getting up. And then I immediately got back up. I remember that too. I remember, like, surprisingly, I remember, like, most of the night. You know,
even though you don't remember, you literally, like, put your hands on my table and started fucking twerking.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that.
That was what you were, like, trying to dance battle one of us at one point.
I did not. I think I did the gritty.
Yeah, you did. You're like, no, you know, fuck it, it's like this. Like,
I think because it's still one of the funniest dances I've ever seen. It's like I like the gritties too much.
Like, that's why I
haven't danced in the gritty in a while, but I bet I killed it.
That was top tier. That was like a top tier night for sure.
Because, like, not only that, because I kept drinking too.
Yeah, like, you didn't stop. Like, at one point, I literally had to fucking take the because the thing is, we had the giant buzz balls. Yeah. And so at one point, I had to take one away from you. And as I'm literally walking back from inside my house, after I just took away the big ass buzz ball from you, so we had fucking made little gift bags for the people that came, and it included a small little regular sized buzz ball. And so as I'm fucking walking out, I see you with one of the little fucking. I'm like, Mike, fucking stop, dude.
No, I was going, man. You said it. This is what you wanted until you didn't. You didn't realize I would keep going throughout the entire night. It was like already 3 a.m. You were like kicking us out.
Yeah. I was like, you know, fucking Luis, take him home.
And then Luis was like, what? Come on. He was like, let him stay here. And you're like, no.
And so, but wait. So let's just quickly describe the following morning, because the way you fucking hit me up that following morning is still
we've told this story tons of times, but for us, it doesn't get old. I don't care.
It's one of my favorite, like, because
I don't care.
You hit me up, and I forgot, what's the first thing that you said to me?
I was like, I tried texting you, but the light burns my eyes, so I had to call you.
Literally, you texted me something, and then right after you called me, like, I can't text right now.
I never thought I had the problem of being like, fuck, I can't text. It's like fucking bright as hell. But like, no, that
You
a
were
day
going through it
and a
that way.
half I was suffering because buzzballs do not fuck around. They do not
Well, it's like
fuck
14%
around.
alcohol.
That's I didn't realize it was a lot. I didn't realize how much I drank. I didn't realize how much that was a lot. But I drank like
You threw up like fucking 3 times, right?
I did, and then it was like I was like eating soup. I was like drinking tea and stuff, But that was a fun night, even though I suffered the next night heavily. But that was a really fun night.
Yeah.
But you know what? Isn't fucking fun, and I'm really fucking mad.
You're gonna be on.
I'm fucking mad at.
Because
we watched
last night
we
actually saw the monkey.
the fucking monkey
Now here, real quick, before we get into
by
it,
Osborne, whatever the fuck, Pete Perkins. I don't think I've got what's his name.
I was he had a weird ass name, but
Already in, he's like weird name. First critique of the movie, your name, bro. Like, come on.
but so
I actually like the name a lot. I think it's a cool name.
This one was actually
Osgood.
This one was actually really
Perkins.
fucking This was an interesting choice because I remember I initially I personally wasn't planning on watching this movie.
Yeah.
But when we went to go see Hard Eyes, the trailer for this movie actually came out, and you're like, oh, I'm taking you to see it because you had.
I saw
You had seen a different version.
Yeah, I saw a certain screening. I'm not gonna go into detail what I had because apparently I can't do that. But I'm gonna tell you what I saw, I really enjoyed. What and then
we saw.
What we saw. I really did not like.
This movie was
it's shocking to go from really anticipating a movie to watching it and being like, wow.
And you were actually mad because you had been hyping this movie.
I was actually hyping you up because it looked funny, it looked cool. Even if I wasn't aware of this movie, I think just the director and the material itself, based on the short Stephen King story, and then Osgood Perkins, who just made Long Legs, a movie that I'm not the biggest fan of, but I acknowledge that there was some really good elements in that movie that I did want to see expanded from this director. And then when I heard that he's making a horror comedy based on a pulpy Stephen King short story that is very, it's Stephen King, he's fucking crazy, I remember, quick side note that traumatized me, but I remember, first of all, the Carrie movies is such a good movie, and then second of all, but I was
some of the fucking remake to that.
Yeah, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna read the book. We have the book, Carrie. My parents are big, huge Stephen King fans. The whole shelf in the living room was dedicated to just Stephen King novels. I'm not even shitting you, but and then so Carrie, I was reading Carrie, and then it's just 20 pages in, it's just a whole page just describing pubic hairs. I'm just what the fuck is this? And then a week later, my dad got a first edition of Cujo he saw at Goodwill, and I'm like, okay, killer dog, that sounds cool. All right, let's read this. And then it's just another page where it's someone watching some a couple fuck, and it's describing the pubic hair, and I'm like, is this man just gonna write about fucking pubic hair every fucking book I fucking read from him?
Wait.
Where
the fuck is this movie review going?
I just got, because I know of Stephen King's pulpiness, and I know of his Stephen King.
This was going far left from the fucking I thought we were talking about the fucking monkey, and then I just hear you talking about pubic hair all of a sudden.
Because so that was one of my interests to Stephen King. Is reading those books. I didn't finish them because I couldn't. I was like, nah. I'm not reading this.
Wait, I thought you were about to say I couldn't finish them because I couldn't read.
I couldn't read. It was yeah, man. I was 12 years old. I can't read for shit, man. He was like, world's fucked up, man. But I'm a big fan.
Anyways,
I'm a big fan. Let me talk.
Okay, you're
let's
a fan
go.
of Stephen
I'm a fan
King.
of Stephen King. I want to see because Perkins, even though Long Legs I didn't really like, I really I was the aesthetic, and I think what he was going for as an artist.
Okay.
I thought we're good. I'm okay, I kind of want to see another side of him, And then we went to see the movie We sat down. We saw the trailers. We saw some trailers. Actually, you want to talk about the trailers?
Because the only trailer that I want to talk about is how the fuck you actually.
It looks like a fun time. What do you mean?
No.
He just made this album. He's coming back. Also, that Sam Levinson, fucking he did co-write it though. Weeknd did co-write The Idol though, and he did stuff, but different director. Maybe he could like channel like an actual like performance out of him.
Maybe I'm just a hater, but I'm not a fan of actor The Weeknd.
Actor The Weeknd, he was really good in like the 5 minutes he was in Uncut Gems where he played himself, and I'm serious, he played himself doing cocaine. It was like yeah, grab my dick.
That's all he does. He literally fucking played himself in The Idol.
He's really bad. And you watched the entirety. I didn't
watch the whole thing.
You didn't? Okay, good.
I only watched like maybe 2 episodes at most.
I know some people who were like, I watched it all. And I'm like, why? Why would you do that to yourself? And this is coming from like someone who like hates fucking Euphoria season 2. One of the worst seasons of television I've ever seen.
Oh, you're hating a little bit.
It's fucking bad, bro. Everything about that season fucking sucks. But go on. What were you gonna say?
Well, I mean, it's at least entertaining. But,
what?
Euphoria.
Yeah, I guess. Sure. If I also think looking at it paint dry.
I mean, comparing it to the fucking Idol, dude. Come on.
The Idol is fucking. I saw like an episode. I'm like, I can't. Nah, I'm done. I'm tapping out. I'm like. Same with like Amelia Perez. I'm like, nope.
Like, here's the thing. I'm not fucking going into like Euphoria expecting it to be like Grant or fucking Oscar level acting and shit. I'm going into fucking be entertained. Yeah. And I was.
Yeah. So, funny enough, it did win Emmys. For the Zendaya kept winning Emmys for some reason for that role. She is good in it, but I don't know. But like, anyways, let's go on.
But
just like a quick hate stray right there. I love Zendaya too. What the fuck? I gotta stop sending strays to just random people. I'm like a little hateful. And I was telling because like I'm in a mood, and so like I was telling Raul beforehand that I was like, well, whenever I'm in the mood, it's like an entertaining episode. But I don't want to keep like straying people. I just make fun of.
Completely on. I'm fucking hating on this weekend Jen Ortega shit. I really am. I don't think it's gonna be good, dog.
I will say. That director does have a shoddy fucking like filmography. He's made 2 really good movies, and a movie I did like, but now I don't really like. And he's made a couple projects that a lot of people have like mixed feelings about. So I think I don't think you're definitely not the only one who is very skeptical and not skeptical, but like So you're not the only one who's skeptical about this fucking movie,
Oh, but like one of my favorite trailers.
Well, what trailer?
It was the it's the movie. The movie is called The Woman in the Yard, right? Mm-hmm. Bro, I loved it because as I was watching this trailer, I'm looking at it and I'm like this character in this movie seems familiar. Where have I seen this before? Mm-hmm. And that's when I turned to you after the trailer was over. Like, hey, is this the sequel to The Woman in Black? Because that's what I thought it was.
That was one of the stupidest things you've ever said to me.
Because I know there's a movie where there's a woman in black, and then there's another woman in black in this one. So
it's just like, so is this like a sequel? I'm just like, and like as someone who actually saw that movie, this has nothing to do with anything related to that movie.
I thought it was the same characters.
No, it wasn't. It was not at all.
So it's like 2 different ladies in black?
Yes, it is. They have nothing to do with each other. God.
That was fucking great. That was my favorite.
I'm like, well, what a connection, too. No one knows about that fucking movie.
Because I thought it was a fucking sequel.
Yeah, it was fake. I saw the movie in theaters, too. No one knows about that movie. But like,
it for trailers?
What's another? There's other ones like. I keep watching these trailers.
Wait. What was that fucking god awful one? I think it had Alison Brie in it. It
wasn't good. That was a good trailer. No, what do you mean wasn't good? The
one with the classical music over it?
That's what made it fucking good. What the fuck? How was that a bad trailer?
That was one of the most lackluster trailers I've ever seen.
The point of it was like to show like this like happy ditty music with the back. You see the images of like just the fucked up shit happening.
That shit felt like a fucking
That was the fucking point.
That shit felt like an Ozempic commercial. What the fuck?
That was like the point. Do you not like fucking get that shit?
No.
To show like, oh, it's happy music, but like there's fucked up shit happening. That was like the point of the trailer.
I even told you in the theater I fucking hated that trailer.
That trailer looked cool. We're seeing that because that shit looked weird as fuck. I'm like, we're seeing that shit.
No, well, you know what trailer actually looked good? Fucking Bring Her Back.
Which one's that one?
The one from the guys who did
Oh, that trailer's really good. That trailer's actually really good. I'm very excited for that one. We're definitely seeing that one. But like, you see all these. We were seeing these action trailers. We're seeing these drama trailers. I'm just like, some of these trailers, even from like, you know, and actually A24 is known for like fucking awful trailers.
Oh, so what's that other one that you wanted to watch? The one about space?
Oh yeah, Mickey 17, like from the director of Parasite. I've been waiting fucking 6-7 years for that fucking movie. It's been in fucking in the back burner for like a lot of reasons. I'm very excited to see that. It might not. That trailer actually doesn't make it look that good, sadly, because like trailers for Warner Brothers makes awful trailers. But like, I'm really excited to see that one. Mickey 17, like it's like if you're in the film world, Parasite, one of the most important and acclaimed foreign films in the last 20 years, you know. And if you know, you know. If you don't, get the fuck on it, because Parasite is fucking one of the best movies ever made. But this is his next movie, and it's been like 6-7 years since his last movie, and I'm like, this is a fucking follow up, and this is it. You know, it's just like I'm very, very excited because it's like a very dark comedy too. It's like a dark comedy action space movie made by a fucking South Korean director, and they fucking go crazy. Like those.
Speaking of like that,
they fucking go crazy.
Movie I actually want to see right now that just dropped on Netflix.
What?
Have you seen the trailer for? It's like, I think it's, I don't know. I think it's a Japanese. I might be wrong, but I think it's a Japanese movie. I think it's supposed to be a horror movie. It's called Demon City or something.
I haven't heard of it, no.
Yeah, I guess it just dropped on Netflix, and it actually looks really interesting, so I think I'm going to watch it tonight.
Nice. And then, like, even, like, some of the trailers, I'm like, oh, these action movies, like, look shitty, you know? And then, I was like, okay, movie's starting, you know, and spoilers for The Monkey, you know, we're probably not going to talk about it a lot. You know,
hey, I will say in the beginning with the guy who goes into the antique shop and is like trying to sell or get rid of the monkey.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but as soon as I saw his face come on screen, he you know what kind of vibes he gave me? He gave me like those like cheesy ass white guy vibes that would like come up and tell you, well, let me tell you something, fella. Like that's what he
he's from the 1950s.
Like that's the vibe that he gave off to me.
Yeah. And I will say that beginning was you know, it did set a tone for like the comedy, exaggerated, cheesy horror type of a movie it was trying to go for. And honestly, like, I do like that, like the first like 30-40 minutes. Like, I actually do like enjoy like that part where like we get the backstory of the twins, you know, and like the monkey coming into their lives and stuff, and like the deaths happening with the monkey.
Yeah.
And I would say the best part about this movie, actually, which is funny because like usually we would like this type of stuff, and it would actually make a movie. If a movie's lackluster, if the kills are cool, it will like make up for a movie like us, for some like us, or I don't even know what the fuck I just said. but the best part about this movie is the kills. Like, the kills throughout the entire movie, and there is a lot of them, are pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, the kills were really great in this movie.
It's
sad to say that that's the only enjoyable part.
Yeah, because like I don't think like the rest of the story, especially after that beginning, it presents itself as like a horror comedy that like tries way too hard to get us to care about the characters in a story this stupid.
Yeah, like they try to have a serious story in a really dumb movie.
And then not only that, because like, you know, there's been tons of other horror comedies that have, you know, from
we literally just watched one.
We like Hard Eyes, even like the Substance or Shaun of the Dead, that like have really major dramatic elements in them, but is still able to be a constantly funny movie that's able to like get us within the character's mind, at least within the character's environments and what they're going through, you know.
Like, yeah, you're right. It did try to take itself too seriously, because you know what it just reminded me of?
What?
Like the way that we can compare, like the way that they did the seriousness in something like The Monkey versus Hard Eyes, since we just watched that one, is that fucking scene that we talked about in the last episode where we reviewed it. where we talk about how they're in the van and they're having like a sincere moment with each other, but in the background you can still hear the people fucking.
Yeah,
Like that's a great
that's one of the funniest
like
scenes
that
in the
yeah,
movie.
but that's like a great example of how you can still kind of have like a small serious moment, but like still recognize that it's a comedy. Like this, I feel like it tried to like it just tried to actually like make you feel something with the story.
And you know, and it's like a campy Stephen King story. So, but within the book of Stephen King, you know, and it's, you know, it like he has his own way of writing where like he could like he embraces that camp while also still making it engaging for the reader, keep having it to keep reading. But like here, I just think the adaptation of it. First of all, I think it could have done a. I think if it set play because it feels like it's trying to be like an 80s campy slasher type shit but with like the aesthetics of like, you know, long legs you try but like with the aesthetics of long legs trying to make like an 80s camp movie, but like with that being said it takes place in modern times as well. I felt like this story could have worked better in like a in the 80s or 90s, even the 2000s. I think could have been like a better place for the story to take place than now, because it just felt like just like a movie trying to a 2025 movie.
That was a weird choice to have
like a 20 it felt like a 2020. Well, I can't fucking speak today. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
It was fucking great. It was fucking amazing.
It felt like a 2025 movie trying to be an 80s movie, and you know that 80s aesthetic has been dominating the modern horror field for like the past like 15 years. Actually, it's crazy. I know I keep fucking up. I'm sorry. You just have to like, you just gotta fucking go through it, and but like it just felt like clashing. It felt messy. It just felt so messy in what it was trying to do and be. It was trying to accomplish all these goals, but like did not well. Like I didn't engage with the characters or their plights, you know. And like I'm not saying the actors did it. And in fact, the actors did like a solid job for the most part. I don't think anyone gave a bad performance, but I also don't think Perkins really balanced the tones well in what he was trying to go for. And he's like a talented filmmaker with great aesthetics and knows what he wants. But like I felt like, you know, it tried to give the audience too much of what you know what it needed. You know, it's just like okay, like 10 minutes could have been cut from this movie and it would have felt so much faster. I think
the only acting wise, the only scene that I can honestly say that I actually genuinely enjoyed was there's a scene, I believe it's right after the first death, where they're at a funeral and it's the mom talking to them about death and how everybody dies, and that legit was probably as far as acting goes, that was my favorite fucking scene of the whole movie.
Yeah, one of the funniest parts when she's talking about death after the babysitter's death.
Yeah, that one was one of my, like, acting wise, that one was one of my favorites.
Yeah, and she was like she's a good actress too, and she actually gave like a solid performance in the movie. But like even like it's crazy because you said you forgot we watched it even though we saw it yesterday.
Yeah, like when you brought it up, because when I was texting you earlier, you were like, oh, like I'm gonna be upset this episode, and I was just like, why? And then you're like, oh, because we had to fucking review the monkey. And I was like, oh, yeah, how we saw that.
No, it's like,
it's a very forgettable movie for me.
I don't think, I think it restricted itself too much. Like, it didn't really go far enough for, like, a killer monkey that, like you said when you were high as fuck. I mean, like, is it just Final Destination with a monkey? And I'm like, yes. That sounds cool. And, like, and you could probably read like the short story and be like, oh wow, that's a cool idea for a movie. It'll be fun as fuck, you know, it'll be like campy, it'll be like an 80s movie. It does try to do all that, but I think it just restricts itself too much and trying to give itself too much.
This has to be one that fucking Stephen King wrote when he was high as shit.
Yeah, oh yeah. Bro, he forgot he wrote like whole books because he was on so much cocaine.
Yeah,
in the 80s.
This is definitely one of
like
those.
Tommy Knockers. It should not be 1,100 pages.
This was definitely one of the books he read when he was on one.
I know,
or read that he wrote when he was on one.
He's like, oh wow, who wrote this? Oh, me. No, it's just like you know, I was very disappointed with the movie, but I'm glad Perkins is still is still making the stuff, because like I will say the aesthetics are good looking. Like it's a good looking fucking movie. Like there's some editing shit in here that I thought was fucking amazing. The composition is fucking like everything technical about it. I actually really like the gore. The gore for the kills, I thought were like fucking amazing, especially like the cherry pie like gore, where like he's lifting the body, but the chunks all come out. Like that's fucking awesome.
I was gonna say, which one of your favorite kills from the movie?
It was that one. I really like the fucking especially the beginning parts of it. I really like the aneurysm. Oh, with the fucking got the fool as a priest.
Oh yeah,
he was like one of the funniest. Because I'm like, that's definitely like one of our friends, like trying to be a priest.
But I think mine would probably have to be, you know what? Honestly, the first death when the fucking thing just like pierces the dude and then he just fucking
drags the intestines out.
That one was one. That was like one that I was not expecting.
Like it kind of peaked for you there, and it kind of just like that was just like the first scene of the movie.
Here's the thing, like the thing that I think made this more disappointing for me personally is because when I saw that, like the first kill, I was like, all right, like this seems like it's gonna be a movie that I'm gonna be really into. Yeah. And then I was just like let down.
Yeah, because like it's funny because it does have a good amount of kills, but it still feels like a slog. It still feels like slow. It still feels messy.
Yeah,
and
you
it's
told me after, like right after it was over, like it felt like it dragged.
It felt like it just dragged. And it's not that long of a movie. It's under an hour and 40. You know, it's like. I was personally shocked by the final product and like kind of disappointed in it, you know. And I guess I'll leave it at this. Like since the more I talk about it, the more sad I get. But like it is getting decent enough reviews. It is making its money back. So shout out to Perkins and like his vision for like being able to like bring this out, and like I wish him all the best, you know. I despite me not like liking his movies as much as I want to, I really do I really do like him as like as an artist and a visionary. That being said, keep making your movies, but I hope I like your next one.
Yeah, for
more.
me, my last words this movie sucked, and we'll see what happens if I ever do see another one of your movies.
Yeah. Because you like Long Legs more than this.
Yeah, because that was alright too.
Yeah, it was good. It was alright.
Yeah, alright. So, but now moving on to
ratings. Motherfucking.
Well, I was gonna say because I think we use different like rating systems. So just to clarify, I'm rating it on the Letterboxd rating system. So it's like out of 5 stars. So if you follow me on Instagram, you would know that I actually ended up giving this a 2 out of 5.
I'm with you. 2 out of 5 would in my rating system. I go back to the 10, so like I give it like a 4 out of 10, like a 4 out of 10, like because there's some elements that I think really work and that I think I really admire and really enjoy. But there's like so much more that I was very like, God damn, what the fuck, you know? So yeah, we'll end it. Follow us on the Letterboxd if you're a cinephile. I'll put you on game. Like that's the most active I'll ever be anywhere.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually surprised by how much I've used it since I got it.
Yeah, you've been blogging it, especially because you always watch like shitty horror movies.
Yeah,
you always. Didn't you watch one like yesterday too before we saw the movie? You're telling me about it.
Oh, that, but I didn't review that one because I didn't even finish it.
What's it?
It was
Jughead.
It was called Jugface.
Oh.
I was telling Mike, I thought I went into it thinking it was gonna be like some like artsy fucking foreign film.
Yeah. And
when it's like when the fucking credits are rolling in the beginning, I see that it's fucking written and directed by some fool named Chad.
And you're like, well, that's not like that's a very US type name. So yeah, and well, how do we end this?
I was gonna say the director's name, but no, that would have been kind of racist. But,
no, okay, yeah. But let's move on, please, before we pull a Mexican and be racist.
Yeah,
all right?
So I'm just gonna say, that was not the movie for me, But moving on to another thing that's probably going to be equally as bad for us is we're going to be deciding today
next month, or at least March's bad album review.
Next month's bad album review.
Well, by the time this uploads, it'll already be next month.
Oh shit, yeah, because it's the 28th. All
yeah.
right, so the one that we're gonna be doing for this month, technically, we're gonna be choosing right now. So we have a few albums to choose from. So let me go ahead and start it. So I'm gonna just go ahead and spin it, and then whatever it lands on, it fucking lands.
And you didn't tell me one of the albums.
Yeah,
either,
one of the albums on here is a surprise. Like Mike knows all the other ones because we picked them together. Not looking forward to that. But
at all.
If I swear to God, if the album that I put on here that Mike doesn't know about, if it lands on that, I'm legit going to laugh my fucking ass off. So without further ado, let's pick the album for this month. Oh shit!
Well, you have the fanfare too.
Okay, so anyways. So this is not actually the album that I picked, sadly, because I really wish it was. But so we are going to be reviewing, and
nice.
this was an album that you literally actually asked me as we were like, because we had to redo this wheel.
No.
And so this was an album that you were literally asking me, like, why is it like? Can we take that one off? And I told you no. So this one we will be reviewing. I Spice.
She's irrelevant. Why are we reviewing her?
Because it was on the wheel.
It was on the wheel? Fuck you. Oh my god, we're about to talk about a has-been. Is fucking... why am I being rude?
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what the other album is either. I'm just going to keep it on there.
You're going to keep it on there? Yeah, be a fucking greedy little bean?
Whenever
greedy little bean head?
Oh, I thought you said the
Oh yeah, that would be crazy.
Yeah, but
nah.
But
take out the ER. It's funny.
I'm gonna shut the fuck up, dude. I'm gonna keep that surprise album on there until it actually
cheat
lands
codes on it. For I'm Mexican, guys. And
until it actually lands on it. I'm not gonna tell you
say it
until it actually lands on it because I want to see your reaction. But so yeah,
right.
So there you have it for this.
Fucking, you know what? I think next review we should do Ice Spice and To Pimp a Butterfly. That would be fucking
episode. Like that would be a crazy ass fucking contrast.
You know what? That might be it. This, if any world events also happen right now. We're a political channel, I guess. But like
hardly.
We're barely a political channel, mostly because we just
because we don't know shit.
We don't know shit, but it affects us though. That sucks as an adult, because the politics really do fucking like affect us. It as we get older, and then you just see being like people our age or even older, like 30, 35, being like, I don't really like getting into politics. I'm like, you're 30, ma'am. Like you're 30. You're not like 19 anymore. This involves you. You are affected by this.
Like fucking omelets are expensive.
Like fucking the omelets. You mean? But that egg shit is insane. Like I saw like fucking 18 like fucking eggs being like $26. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Fucking bird food,
they're gonna be fucking starting to fucking sell eggs on eBay like they were with the fucking
with the toilet paper.
Yeah, that. And then, I was gonna say the fucking when it came out, the fucking Popeye chicken sandwich.
Oh my
god, people were literally selling that shit online.
Man. Society is fucked up, man. Yeah, that's how we're gonna end this episode.
Yep, and so make sure you look forward to the next episode for the Ice Spice and Kendrick Lamar album.
That's fucked up, man. This is your fault. You had a chance to take that fucking album out, but I'm also hating because it might be good, but it's probably not.
Left it on. I'm so glad that I left it on.
Probably not though, but like let's see because it's crazy how she fell off. We could also talk about her
we'll talk about it probably in the next one.
So when you see her fucking shake her booty like all mad, and then she looked like she let out the hardest, saddest farts while she was fucking on that stage. All right,
that's it.
Like, comment, subscribe.
We'll see you on the next one.
We'll see you on the next one. Peace.